Can actually see if the stream is lagging. Hey, gee whiz, what is going on? How's everything? How's is it agro sciences? I can't remember the name of the course that you switched to. Sounds sick though. I think it's a good choice. And one of the things that I struggle with a lot in my career is the pointlessness of it. I just sit around. I'm trying to grind YouTube over the summer so I don't have to go into it. Yeah, fair enough. That's not a bad choice either. Like there is a level of like pointlessness to like desk jobs. Like I just like the kind of finance that I do is completely fake money. Like it's not even real. And it's very bizarre. It matters for your publicly listed companies for some reason. It matters a lot. But at the end of the day, it's like all fake money. I mean, most money is fake, but like the stuff that I do is especially fake. Yeah, what you do. I don't want to work in a trade if YouTube doesn't work. I think it's a good choice, especially with the robots. You know, my fake money job is eventually going to be a robot's fake money job. Fake work, huh? Yeah. So we got this guy. I got a new design. It's not. I mean, I like this as like a design, but I don't know if I'm getting the lines correct. It's all a bit like maybe I need to make a bigger differentiation between like the body and the bits that are floating on it. But this is what I'm doing at the eye. See, I don't like the wiggle of this top one. What if it just never moved? Wait, what the fuck? Stream like here, and then the whole body goes up, but this doesn't. And then this goes down, and then this. That would make it even worse, right? I suppose that's not too bad. It's like an idle animation. Maybe a little bit too bouncy. Considering that, should I double each frame? Because is a flying enemy. That is the same frame. So we got 2 frames, 2 frames. And then 2 frames. Something like that. That's a bit better. Forerunner portal guard? Oh yeah, it does, because it's the blue, right? It does, I was looking, actually, I was like Googling like sci-fi drone to sort of get a bit of inspo. I was seeing a lot of Halo stuff. I really like some of the Halo, like sci-fi look. Set loop, the new frame, or what do we, set loop section, this is the idle. Hey, random person on this earth, welcome to the stream. Idle. And then for the attack, I actually think it's pretty easy because I'm just gonna turn this center bit red. Like it doesn't actually have to do anything. Take one of the end frames. And I think what we do is just go new frame. We just grab like a red, or maybe we start with the pink and then have it transition. Forerunner design is very blue and grey with a lot of 45-degree angles. Yeah. Forerunner's so sick though. I love Halo, but I guess I'm like a 90s kid, so we all love Halo, right? Okay. Like this kind of stuff. Very angly. I don't know what these aliens are. Oh, that's from Halo 5 or 4, I should say. The Google kind of disappointed a bit. Like these weapons are all like geometric, kind of. It's cool. Promethean? No, that's Mass Effect. Promethean weapons? Oh, Promethean was in Halo. Does it say Prometheans in Mass Effect as well? Was that... Now working making placeholder enemies, actual enemies now? Yeah. Promethean is in Mass Effect as well. What the hell? Guys, stop copying each other's homework. Yeah, I remember this stuff. Yeah, this weapon is like actually sick in Halo 5. Is it an infinite as well? In 2023, I played through Halo 1 to Infinite all in a row. And it was a pretty good experience. I would say like my least favorite Halo was probably Halo 5. Then Halo 4. That's how I'd rank it from bottom to top. It'd be like 5, 4, Infinite, and then maybe like 1, 3, 2. Halo 2 is my favorite Halo. Promethean weapons in Infinite. Okay. Yeah, right. No wonder I don't remember that shit. Worst Halo campaign is Halo 5, but it's one of the best for multiplayer. Ah. I didn't mind the Halo 5 campaign. I liked the open world aspect of it. I thought that was like a fun addition. Well, I guess it's not really open world, but you know what I mean? Like being able to drive around the map was good shit. I like that. But yeah, I mean, the whole like saving Cortana, or like Cortana going crazy was like pretty good. But yeah, I would say like for me, my least favorite would be 5. My most favorite would be 2. Halo 2 is just peak. I think there's like a nostalgia aspect to it. So it's like when it came out, like just like binging that in the summer, because I think it was summer when it came out here, and it was like, it was insanely hot, and we're just like sweating our asses off trying to play that. November 9, 2004. Just stop giving me the same boss 8 times, yeah. Some games will do that to you. I think you must be onto something, because wait, it wasn't that long ago, what, 2023 that I played Halo Infinite. I don't remember a single boss. I just remember like going around the map and that being fun to me. So I reckon we go like, where's the main body here? And we just color this in here. Oh, don't do that. Hang on. Okay, call this new frame step loop section attack. I mean, it's one of those things. Should I do it like as an alert? Like it's like this? No, I think I want it to be like reasonably obvious it's gonna shoot. That's just like, And then so the final one is like this. And then, oh. New frame. And then go this. That's like, and then that is its final thing, and it's going to shoot. So then we go probably 2 or 3 frames where we want to give it like, so it does shoot 3 in a row. But I have to review the state to see if it like goes into that state 3 times as it shoots, or if it just shoots 3 in that state. I don't know. But we'll do like a little bit of a pushback. We'll push all of these to the side. I guess the body should move first, actually. Oh. So we'll go main body. 1 frame back. I mean, 1 pixel back. 2 maybe. 2's too much. 1. I just moved it for every single frame. Fucking hell. Just this one. Oh my god. Aseprite sometimes pisses me off with that. Should we rotate it? Can we rotate it? Is it going to get cranky at me? Rotating pixel art is like kind of risky. Yeah, look at that. I don't know, mate. I'd say no. Let's don't do that. We're not going to do that. We'd have to like draw in the rotation. We'll just go with a lateral. So we're going to move all of these back now. Small recoil, yeah. It's just a little single pixel. And then everything goes back to this one. And that's pretty much it. So what I'm thinking is for when it dies, it only attacks and it just sits around. That's literally all it does. It's a very basic enemy. So what I want to do with this guy, I've got all of these separate layers. What I'm thinking is we will actually have a separate object, and so when it gets killed, actually we'll do the separate objects as like rigid bodies, and so when it dies, we'll break off each piece and we'll have them scatter around. You know what I mean? Except for maybe the offside wing, because that is literally just like a bit pointless. So I don't even know if anything has to happen when it dies. Maybe we get a new frame here. And we just change the color of the iris to like a gray. Whoa. What if we actually just took the color that's here and then just desaturated it, rather than just using some random gray? This, oh, the side wing, I assume that's this. No, it's not. Back wing, and then the hood. No, it's no longer active, you know? too samey. I think maybe I'm just not ever gonna find anything that's desaturated and like doesn't look right. And then maybe these lights on the wings, we change them to like a gray. That's just not the same gray. And then that is the side wing. Okay, cool. So that's the dead version, the deactivated version. And then it's on. That even gives me like ideas, like maybe I could have these sitting on the ground at some point, and they get activated and like potentially they can turn on and off. But yeah, so we'll have that like break into pieces. So I think that's pretty much all I need. I can basically just export this, hit save on this, and then just export as sprite sheet. And that's fine as like boundaries. The output file is going to be under project assets enemy. Create a new folder here for drone. All right, so we create that, and then this is no longer placeholder, this is just the drone. Although the design might change in the future, but I just wanted to have something more artistic in there so that when I'm creating like visuals for this, it doesn't look like as basic as it has been. And then when I let people play the alpha, it's not just like red blobs floating around and stuff like that. I don't know. I feel like that needs to be like a little bit more to it. Okay, so that should be it. Oh, actually I need to export the individual pieces. So if I go export as sprite, not necessarily a sprite sheet actually, export as, and then can I do separation? Maybe it still needs to be a sprite sheet. And then if I go sprite and I go split layers, hello Lambda OS, a vertical slice is way before an alpha. A vertical slice, I guess the vertical slice is already done. You know what I mean? Realistically, I should probably just like put out the playable. Selected layer? Selected frame, is that selected frame? There we go, that's what I wanted. Doesn't really matter. Drone parts. So yeah, that's a good point, Bone Circuit. I might be, maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. Maybe I need to like just get this out so that I can get feedback on it rather than making it look pretty. Prettier. Okay. So I got the drone here. You are replaced. Region. Oh man, this is almost my... You know what? I actually did this kind of wrong because it's just like a long strip. I hate it when I do this. Let's re-export. No, what you do is you split. How do you trim cells output? Split tags? I guess that kind of works. I'll go with that. It's missing that final one, but that's okay. you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Great. Looks great. What does a collision box look like in comparison? Pretty small. I think that's fine though. Like we don't really need it to be there, I guess. Roughly. Hurt box is bigger. The hitbox is maybe a little bit too much. Shrink it a little bit. Okay. Happy days. And yeah, we've got an animation player here. We actually have an attack animation. It sort of shakes around a bit. Okay. Just sort of wiggles. Frame 1. Nearest FPS is... Oh yeah, I remember dealing with this before. So if we go 25 frames per second... No. FPS. I still haven't got quite a handle on this. Oh, it's in FPS. It's in seconds. 0.04. Oh, you could put it in FPS. I had no idea. That's actually sick. I guess it's like 8, right? Yeah. It's still a little bit, so I reckon we just animate it on doubles, right? The one thing I'm like, I just want everything except for the last frame. So this is on frame 0 and we put this on frame, like maybe we do quads. And this is on 8. It's like a nice slow animation. Dude, I actually can't control this right now. What is going on? 4, 8, 12, 16. $20, 24, 28, 32. Then we make it loop. It's not super quick. That's better, I reckon. Okay. So there's our guy. The attack animation, probably a little bit quicker, right? But that's okay. So now we can say, don't reset that. We go down to Y and we key this frame here. Don't create a reset track, please. Wait, what the heck? Oh, it's shaking around. I was like, what? So it launches projectile. Okay, so it does do 3. So realistically, we want to be here when we launch the first projectile. I don't know about these spacings. This feels off. Why does it feel so funny right now? I don't know what's going on, but the animation, maybe because I changed it to FPS, but like something just feels wrong. Can't get anything to like click in. No, that's weird. Bit better. Maybe, oh, I don't want to change the frame rate. We'll call it a day there. Not quite what I was looking for, but it's good enough. Okay, so in terms of the idle, so what we can do, I don't know if we have access to the animation player. I would say finish minute, erase string, velocity, small recoil, I don't know. Animation player dot play, I guess we do. And then we want to go to idle, lowercase, lowercase. So when we enter that, we'll play that. Actually, even when we go to the chase, we're always just using the idle animation. There's no reason not to. It's just making it bob around, and it flies. So it's like, there's no like, it would be cool, but like, you know, to have it like angle its wings or whatever to like angle where it wants to go. But like, that's a lot more effort, and I don't really even know how I would do that. So I'm not going to worry too much about it. I'll just make it go to idle for every single one of them. And then for this one, it plays the attack animation. And I'd say that we're pretty much good to go. Like, honestly, there's not much else to implement with this guy. I mean, he could probably use like an AI like we did with the boss, have like an AI controller. Right now, this is all happening on the main script here, I believe. I'm actually not sure how it determines whether or not to go to attack, or, you know what it is? It's just based on like, you do an attack and then once you finish your attack, you go into the evade state, and you go into the evade state and then you just go back to the idle state. And when you're in the idle state, if you have a target, if check in range. So if you're in range, you go to attack, otherwise you go to a chase. Like, it's not super complicated, I guess. So maybe it doesn't need one. Seems pretty straightforward now that I review it. But I guess like, I suppose like the counter to that is that whatever base script is on the state machine is actually checking the range of the target and all that kind of stuff, and that could be on a separate script, so that the state machine only concerns itself with movement. If I had to like rationalize the whole thing, where are we? We've got one in this room, and then we go into another thing we can fight here. Up. Animation cannot play on a null value. So, makes me wonder. Air enemy. My alarm's going off. State machine. I'm guessing it just doesn't have access to the, because it's like called on ready. Set animation player, I have to call a function. Great. Base, I'd have to check what that does. It probably gets node for the path. Super annoying. You can have it set all the time, but you would need to do it in the state machine rather than the individual states. I've come across this before because like you can, yeah, so get parent, get node, data.animation player. Yeah, that is a choice that I made. Hey, look. Okay, so a couple of issues. We got a lot of music. So number one, the bullets don't come from the eye. Number two, he needs to flip with where he's going. He needs to face the player, I think, based on this new design. I guess the other argument is just like it doesn't really look like it's flying the same way that its technology sort of looks to be, but you know, we can get around that. And I don't think, oh, it turns black. Why does it do that? No idea. Okay. So, okay, first things first, the bullet point. This is the point in which the bullet comes out. We can easily just make that come out of here, right? I would say. Yep, easy. Probably like there's not enough impact. I reckon we have like that recoil for every single time it shoots, which means I'll just have to like fiddle around with the speed. And I'm dead. Okay, so yeah, flipping the enemy based on its direction. That is a little bit more challenging. So what are we going to do here? We could store the direction as a variable, and then based on the velocity, we could change that. So we could make it velocity X is one direction. Now I think actually I've orientated everything in the negative, which is kind of funny. Like it actually should be the other way around, right? So like if it's negative X, it needs to be not flipped. Now the only issue is that bullet point is going to come into like a problem. So like if I flip, obviously the bullet point needs to change. So we can do that though. We probably just need a function. I think it makes most sense to do this in the script here. This is a class AI enemy. I would really like this to be its own individual thing. Or I guess we can just create a function to, don't like doing that, to deal with it. Maybe in the sprite? Physics process. This is an enemy sprite. Flash, on health container damage taken, max flash. Oh, it's probably in the flash values that's making it turn black. Now that I think about it. But here we could do a flip. We don't know the direction though. We are going to need to do this for a lot of different enemies. Let's rationalize it. Check direction. And then I guess it's just a float, and it's gonna be what do you call it? X. Velocity. We just need, I guess we could just pass in the velocity, which is a global, so we don't really need to do anything here. We can just go void, and we can say if we need to store the velocity, I guess. That's the other thing as well. So we probably need to have like a variable here. Previous Well, not really. We just check if x is a positive or a negative. Right? Like if velocity is a negative, we're going the one direction. If velocity is a positive, we're going the other. We don't really need to check if it's changed each frame. So we can just go if velocity. Do you have any svet against depression? I don't understand that word, svet. So my... What is this? What is this word? Is it a spelling mistake or something I've never heard before? Advice. Advice against depression? Go lift some weights. Or run. Exercise has been proven to help prevent depression. Failing that, speak to your doctor. There's nothing wrong with having to take medication or anything like that, and it can improve your life a lot. And it's not worth living like that. But yeah, I mean, first things first, like always just like start exercising, because that does like actually improve it. If velocity x is, well, wait, can we just go like var direction as a float is equal to, is it sine velocity dot x? 23 years old. I think I've failed any field of life. Nah, dude, you got so much time. Dude, when I was 23, I didn't even finish university. I was also like pretty depressed because I had no job. But you got like all the time in the world to change your life completely. You can do anything. Velocity dot x, sine is what I want. Yes. Returns positive 0 or 1. Okay, well, I don't know. Velocity could technically be 0. We'll roll with it. I bought a very bad computer 5 years ago. That was bad for the price of 350 euros. Well, that's 5 years ago. You'd be right. Bad for 350 euros is really cheap, right? Like that. What's that? Like 600 bucks Australian? I didn't think you could buy a computer for that much. Maybe on Marketplace. If direction is, I guess you say like equal to, yeah, because it's going to be like -1. Then we, well, just put pass there. I guess we could do a match as well. So here we flip is turned off, right? Flip is false. And then if direction is equal to +1, flip is true. And then if it's neither, then we don't do anything. We have access to the sprite here. I guess. Change the name of this function to maybe like check flip sprite. I don't know. We create another function to flip the sprite. Or do we just do it here? Do we just go sprite dot flip h equals false? And then we also have to flip the bullet point. So we got to change the X position to a positive position. Do we have access to that? Export var bullet point. Can't press the bullet spawn point. And it's a marker 2D. And we have to set that. And so what I would say is I would go marker to, no, bullet point, bullet spawn point dot x is equal to bullet dot x dot global position, no, position dot x is equal to this. So this is negative. So this is fine. We need to flip it. I guess we have to do our own separate test for that because we can't always know. Or we could just set it. We could hard code it. It's not like great, but it can be done. But now let's just see if it works and then we'll worry about how to determine that. Cannot assign a vector to dot x. That's not what I would do, but it's what I'm going to do right now. And so that should just show up in the right spot most of the time. And then we call this function. But this is not really checking the direction. This is like setting the direction. Set sprite direction. And we just call this every frame, I guess. On velocity change, realistically, set sprite direct. And yeah, we'll give it a go. Okay, well, invalid assignment of property key flip with value type. See, this is not just the only thing that uses this, so it's kind of like an issue. There's a lot of things that use this script. So it's like kind of a problem. So then you have to go to like, oh, the ground enemy uses this. You know? And it can't, you know. So that is kind of an issue. They should derive their own scripts. I don't know how many other things, how much else does this? What other things use this script? I think it's some of the bosses as well. So we might run into issues there. I really should refactor the enemy scripts, but that does seem to work. And it does look like the... Look at him go, he's a little bit lost. I do also find it interesting that he is always coming down to my level. Also, he's kind of lost. Is it just this guy, or is it like all of them that are behaving that way? There's a whole bunch of them in this room. God. Okay. They also don't necessarily need to face you to shoot, which is kind of funny. These guys are broken now for some reason. The flipping is real. I don't know. It's not bad. Yeah, okay. So yeah, more enemies that use that. I can just say if sprite. I don't like it though. Also, these numbers are hard coded, so that's a problem. This script is a problem. This whole thing is a problem. Maybe we need to set aside some time on Wednesday to just like overhaul the AI enemy, like the enemy scripts and how they work and how the whole enemy is structured either way. Because realistically, when I did this, Basically what I would do is if I go and look at the boss, like the drone, boss one big drone, and how he works, I imagine he still uses, does he not use AI enemy? He just, he derives enemy and has his own script, boss enemy, right? And it doesn't really, well, it does actually do a fair amount, but like, you know, it's a specific boss script. I mean, realistically, you could probably even classify this and say like, this is just the script for the drone boss. Because like at the end of the day, you know, he's going to need different stuff. What I need to do is like, think about like what else is going to be universally required versus what's like not, right? Like check line of sight is pretty basic. Most enemies need that. I don't know why it's not in the enemy script itself. You know what I mean? Because they've like hold release, set target, play death effect, right? So like, yeah, why isn't this is like base enemy script, boss, check line of sight, like that really should just be, that can be everything. What else is there that could be done here? I mean, that's probably the only thing that I could say that would definitely be a part of that. And then, yeah, the state controller is the one thing that I would say to put into the flying enemy to sort of just like give it a little bit more control and not have like the state machine actually use a lot of this like determining what to do next based on the range of the player and all that kind of stuff. Like have a specific state controller to do that, I think would probably be better. Probably. Either way, yeah. Okay, so what were we saying? We were looking at, okay, so the actual amount that we're setting this is the problem, right? Like, so I know for the marker, its position is 8 for the air enemy, but like a lot of things have that bullet point. So the other thing was the tank. I think it's just called the tank, right? It uses that script as well, and it has a bullet point itself. And so if you flip this, then this doesn't need to be flipped either. So like the whole thing again, like why do they share a script? We actually want to rotate the head to be facing wherever the player is. That's what we should be doing with this. So, stuff to think about for sure. Air enemy. So we should just do that. If we're saying that this really needs to have its own script, we should just give it its own script. And then we could just like, nothing wrong with it deriving AI enemy. Although once again, it is also checking line of sight. Like it's doing that same script. So this is on all of them. So this really should be on the base. I'm going to do that now. No problems there. Why would there be? I'll just comment it out for right now. Velocity, health container, chain, health container 0. These are all signal based stuff. Health container damage taken, set target. Okay, that's fine. Play death effect. We're just overriding that. All right. Yeah, anyway, so we going to derive AI enemy for this guy. So we remove that script and then create a new one. We'll call it air enemy and have it derive AI enemy and then create. So it can still do everything, right? That an enemy would. So target scan timer, I'm assuming that's what it wants. State machine, target state was blank. Knockback speed, I don't know. Fine. Sprite. Right, bullet spawn point. And then this function here for flipping the sprite, set sprite direction. We take that and we stick it in the air enemy script because we know that's like specific to that. It gets cranky because that is there. And then take these and we stick them there. 'Cause we're going to probably need to do different things for different characters depending on what they look like. The tank is not going to need this. Sprite 2D. Remember, Sprite already exists in parent. Oh, well, yeah. Save that. Okay, and then we can just go here. Here. And then all we need to do is override the on velocity changed here. And then call set sprite direction. Okay. And hopefully I didn't break anything. We'll see. Here we go. Invalid access to property key on velocity changed on base object of what? Type character body AI enemy. Well, what script are we in? State machine? State. So is the state character? Current state. Character? Invalid access to key velocity changed on object of. Hopefully I didn't break anything. Everything, every dev ever. Yeah. We're just gonna like do a quick little refactor. You know how it is. I don't exactly know why this would be a problem. It's saying the function doesn't exist on the base character AI enemy. Okay, that's weird. What object is this actually? Ground enemy. So I've broken the ground enemy by changing the air enemy. That's funny. Target scan timer. State machine. It's got a state machine. What's the problem? Invalid on velocity changed. Oh, did I cut that entire function? I shouldn't have done that. It should have just been a copy. This one here. See how it's not blue? You want to have that is what you want. So it exists in both. Okay. Try again. Okay. I need to work on the flash. I think maybe potentially you could say that the enemy realistically doesn't face the direction of the direction that it's going, but rather the direction that the player is. It's always facing like this kind of thing. This enemy can probably fly omnidirectional, like you can fly backwards. So just make it face the player all the time. Also, I don't know why it's no longer attacking. Get it call instantiate on a null value. If death effect, let's just put that there. We should not, if not death effect is probably better. Just return. Okay. All right. All right. Yes. Let's have a look at the air enemy now. We're going to change all of this. We can get the line of sight, which means we know. I think it would be better if we know the direction to the player. Right? So we actually have that because we always are calling check line of sight. However, that is mostly going to be... I guess we could call it again. Raycasts are pretty cheap. It's not a big deal. So we can get the collider back. And then if there is a collider... So what... Actually, you know what would be really cool? So basically, if there is a target, we know that because we have the target player card. We have a signal, right? In enemy, we hold the target, right? So we can say if there is a target, always face the target. Right? So if the direction to the target is negative, then don't flip. If it's positive, then flip. If there is no target, then just face the direction that you're moving. So we can say if target, then we want to do a thing. var target direction. So we can just say var dir to target is a float and it's equal to... Also, I'm just seeing now that we can, what we can really do is actually just have like a variable, just be like desired direction. Not even direct, like why don't we just call this direction? Float here, take that, put that at the top. We no longer need to define it here, but if there is a sprite, and this is else if, so we say if target, then direction to target equals, we can even just say direction, right? We can set the direction equal to the target. I actually think it might be global position. If I can type global position dot direction to target dot global position. Okay, why is it angry? Vector 2 cannot be assigned to a variable of float. Oh. There we go. And then we can just go dot x. How is this allowed? Anyway, it's too early for you to think about that. I agree. Yeah, it's like 23. And I mean, to be fair, like I was struggling a lot when I was close to finishing uni. So when I was like 21, 22, I think it was 22. I'd gone through like a really, really bad breakup, and like I was not successful at university, and I was poor. I was very poor, and it's very difficult because you feel like nothing is going to work, right? Like I'm not going to be able to get a job once I finish university because my grades are too bad. Like I have no love in my life and like all that kind of stuff. And it's like, that can be really difficult for anybody, and people can suffer from this because like a lot of it is like chemical, right? Like you have to remember that. Like sometimes that feeling is chemical and you cannot control it, which is when you should like consult a medical professional, right? But sometimes it's not. Sometimes it is just due to external circumstances. And so like, if you change those external circumstances, then things will get better for you. Sometimes you can't change those circumstances. So you should consult a medical professional. Basically what I'm saying is consult a medical professional. But yeah, life is hard. Therapy and development. Yeah, therapy also really helps. All that kind of stuff. So here, we still do want to sign this because we just want it to be like a negative or a positive number. So if target direction is this, and then if not target, then, so we go else. And also let's just set this to vector20. And then else direction equals sign velocity. Right. Okay. And then if we have a sprite, then we can go ahead and do this, which we will, but we're just doing a protection there. If you have a bad PC, use old versions like blended. Oh, that's a really good point. Like you can still like, it's kind of funny because yeah, you always feel like, oh, I need better hardware, but it's like, yeah, people used to make games on like less than a speck of dust compared to like the silicon we have now. Like they had a grain of sand that they turned into some silicon and used it to make a controller, like a computer, and we have like buckets of sand turned into silicon. Yeah, Blender would be the lowest if you don't want to be capped back there. You don't even need Blender, just make a 2D game. Okay, I think have I done it? Do we need to like run this? Game is still running, which is kind of funny. Building to the stores will be a problem. I wouldn't embark on that unless you have experience. Libre sprite, yeah. Ouch. I think that looks a lot better. Let's go test out in the other room. Give me my health back. Xcode changes nearly once a week. Yeah, just iOS. I mean, don't they have like a Proton or a version of Proton? What's it called? Rosella? But you know, you can just run Windows stuff. Just make it on Linux and build for Windows, and then you'll be all good. Can't see the floor. Why is it like this? Oh well. I like that a lot better. I think that looks really good. These guys no longer work. Yeah, I'm super happy with that actually. Now I just don't know why they decide to like go fully dark. I think it's to do with the flash mechanic. Rosetta 2 is not always going to be there. In fact, dropping R2 support next iOS, macOS build. Okay. What are they going to do? Are they just not going to play? Like, they're not going to run Windows-based stuff? Or are they just... Rosetta 1 was rental, R2 was in-house. Okay. It's kind of crazy, because, like, Linux is, like, so good at running Windows software now. It's actually not even a problem. You know what I mean? Like, to the point where it's like... I don't think there's a single piece of software. I mean, I suppose if it's got like weird DRM stuff, that's when it becomes a problem, which like for some commercial software is a bit of an issue. But like, honestly, I barely even think about it these days. Okay, so I'm happy with the way they move now. I think that looks really good. Now, what about when they die? So we have to create an object. Now, I want to look at the death effect. Kind of interested. Lots of older games had weird memory hacks that don't run in traditional wine setup. Ah, fair enough. Death effect. So it's expecting something here that is a death effect. So a death effect is a particle, which is kind of interesting. Oh, it's just a node 2D actually. So it could be. You know what? That's pretty sweet. So I can just make a bunch of rigid bodies and have them split. Can you make like, no, I don't think it would be good as a particle. It's like, can you make each individual sprite like a particle and then like have it behave like that? But then like, I really just want to behave like rigid bodies anyway. So like, just make them rigid bodies and then roll with it. So I guess we just make it inherit the death effect and then give it some currency. Okay, easy, easy, easy. Right, okay, great. Great, great, great. Create new scene. And it will be just a node, and this will be a defeated, a dead, defeated drone. And we'll bring in a bunch of sprites, right? So we create like individual objects for each one. Drone parts, right? And so each one will be its own thing. I guess, can you make it like an atlas texture? That's probably easier than just like setting the frame. Or I could also just set the frame. Like the V frames. And then just go one and just say that this is that. Oh, you know what? It's going to be way faster if I just duplicate that first one. And so then I can go that this is this one and it sits above this one. I'll give them names in a second, right? Wait, what the hell? Oh, because of all these other ones. I was like, why is that not sitting correctly? Everything else. Yep. Animation. That's the hood that also sits above. And then which one is the shadowed one? Oh, it's 0. Okay, and then this I don't think we need. You just like, how do we make it? Oh, these actually sit up. I've got them around the wrong way. There we go. We like back sprite. Main body. Give them names so I don't get confused. Back wing. Front wing, and this is like the hood. Okay, sweet. Okay, so now we just need a rigid body for each of these. So how many have we got here? What's this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? So we can put each one of these in rigid body.
Fireball.
Hey, Goosefat, welcome to the stream. I didn't even have to check chat. I already know who that is. And then each of them needs a polygon collision shape. Do they work with do polygons collision polygons work with rigid bodies? Which one am I doing? Can we like turn off everything that I'm not doing so I don't get confused? Before DirectX was even 2D, it was all managed in C and your own code. No standard game loop or pattern. Windows stole the concept from Apple. Ah, right. So like, I guess there was more universality before that, because as long as your computer could run C, then... But then there were like platform exclusives, right? Because like, wasn't like Prince of Persia was an Apple game. It was just on like the Apple II or whatever. I don't know. I'm not like particularly, I wasn't, you know, this is not something I'm familiar with. I just know that there was like some stuff that was only running on. Okay, so that does accept that. Okay, so that's cool. In the era that was that was a form of BASIC and assembly. Okay, so then it just made yeah, okay. So you had to have the same kind of BASIC interpreter? Is BASIC interpreted? I don't actually know. Microsoft Defender did not find any threats since your last summary. Thanks, Microsoft. I don't recall asking you to do a scan. It depends. DB was interpreted, DBP was not. Ah, okay. I've been meaning to like learn BASIC since I became an accountant. Because obviously, like Visual Basic, I should say. I think they're different, but like they have a similar name. Been meaning to learn it, but I just never have. I only do it on an ad hoc basis. It's like, oh, I need to write a macro. Like recently, I have a task where I need to open up a report and print a bunch. Python is better for finance these days, and Python is getting brought into Excel, but it's not like it's not really like, from my perspective at least, like say for example, my recent task, I created a button that when I highlight a bunch of links, because I need to open up a bunch of websites so I can download a report for every single store. And so like, I didn't want to have to like go to each link. So I created a macro in Excel because AI couldn't do it for me. Like I went to Copilot and I was like, hey, can you, like, if I feed you a bunch of links, can you like open up every single one of them just so that I can like press the report button, like download report into Excel? He was like, no. Okay, well, next best thing, create a macro. I need to put a button and then I highlight all the links and I press that. Do I have a friend? Does she want to? It's the sunflower dog. She's still got the cone of silence, although it doesn't make her very silent. She doesn't like it. She's tolerated it pretty well compared to like the last time that she had to have one, but also she's had to have it way longer this time because the surgery was on her legs, so she can reach. Like all the other times, like the last time that she had a cancer removed, it was on her chest, so it's like she couldn't reach it anyway. And then the other time it was on her side, although that wasn't cancer. That was she got attacked by another dog. She had like stitches on her side, and that was fine as well because she also couldn't reach that because it was too far up her body, so she couldn't turn her head to get to it. So she didn't need the cone for too long, but And both of those instances, we could just put like one of those dog pajama things on her so she couldn't get to it, and chew the stitches out. But this time it's just on her legs, so it's like kind of hard. But she's done well. She's done well. Okay, so that's that bit. Main body. Guess I might as well make this like a collision polygon as well. Like Beautiful Soup or CEF Python would be a better solution there. I use CEF. I think the problem is, so to like talk about like using Python versus Visual Basic and all that kind of stuff, for me personally in my job, I don't have access to a lot of that stuff because like they don't want like finance professionals necessarily to be able to like run code. A lot of them don't care for it either. Makes me wonder how devs did software rendering in the past. They did it manually with what is that thing called? Yeah, they just created renderers. Oh, what? Damn, I'm trying to remember now. Like whatever Vulkan is, but like the old version of that. Why can't I remember that? GLAS? Good enough. Yeah, you know, the thing that everyone uses, like you would just get Vulkan or you would have to make that, I guess. Yeah, that is the question, right? Like, so what comes first? So if you don't have a game engine, you have to like interact directly with the draw calls and stuff like that. So you're going into hitting Vulkan calls and stuff like that. If you don't have that, then I don't know. You did everything from scratch, usually starting with a button still. Oh god. I would be so screwed. Collision polygon. So your compiler does the images I know is Ray library. I think Raylib. Yeah, Raylib. Stuff like that. But even then, that is like a set, that's an API built on top of something else. Like if you really had to go back to basics, it'd be tough. Okay, so these just collide with the world. Now, we need to do these similar to, we'll save this. In scenes, enemies, create a new folder for drone. Dead enemies? I've got a dead enemies one. Dead crawler, dead drone.
Meow meow.
Meow meow. Yeah, I remember like way back in the day, when I was a kid, I wanted to make games and my dad showed me how things worked from a coding perspective. And it was 1995. So like, you know, no game engines back then. I mean, there might've been, but, and I was just like, yeah, I'll be good. I'm good. I'll just play the games. I think it's too hard. Okay, yeah, they just all fall. So that's it for these. We create a script here. It inherits death effect. Defeat a drone, and then we create. And so now we can spawn this in. Now we do have some stuff that we want to do here. So obviously this assumes that there's GPU particles. 95 was the start of Game Engine. 1D1 was around the time. Yeah, he probably just didn't know about it. All I know is that like I saw that shit. Like we had DOS, like a computer with DOS running on it, and it was just like I'm like a 5-year-old. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. This is too hard. I wanted to make Crash Bandicoot. That's not going to happen. So we've got spawn currency. That's really all this does, but it does assume that there's particles. So we set a GPU particle to be emitting. I mean, I'm not against having GPU particles here. Yeah, you know what? Like, so it wants currency. We're going to give it a pack scene. Oh yeah, so it wants currency. A game engine sets you back $100,000. The license was another 45. Mate, 3D was only 20,000 back then. You still have the copy? Okay. That's cool though. I used to pirate all that shit. I ain't paying for that. Yeah, back when things were commercial, I guess. And you had like real support and all that kind of stuff. I don't know, like, you know, like there is advantages to like a single payer system. Like when you pay for like a license for something and you just have that. We used to hate it, but like at the end of the day, I think there is like a valid argument for that kind of system. Obviously, they make more money with these memberships that they make people pay, but like support for Maya was $350 an hour. Holy shit. I guess I can't. I mean, it does. It all makes sense.
Sound card?
Like the softwares that I pay for, you grinded it out on your own, yeah. What's this called? 1 credit. Before sound card, we had MIDI breakbox. I do remember sound card though. I almost bought one. Because I didn't know about audio interface boxes. Oh no, I'm thinking Sound Blaster. From Creative, a Sound Blaster. Almost bought a Sound Blaster back in 2009, and then I found out about audio interfaces, and I got one in those instead, and I've been using them ever since because it's just a lot better. Growling Octopus, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. Sound Blaster was many years after the MIDI era. Yeah. Yeah, well, I built my first computer in 2009, if that gives you an indication. Like, I was not, like, we had, like, you know, I was 19 because I was able to buy my own. But, like, prior to that, like, we had the family computer, but, like, I don't really know. I think we did build that, or my dad did, but, like, I was not a part of it. And then, yeah, I had laptops in high school, but like they were cheap and basic. And then I just gamed on the consoles. Building your own is a very good exercise. I used to build for everyone, at least spec the parts. Yeah, I like building computers. Hardware is really fun. I really like working with that kind of stuff. 17 years ago, yes. Thank you, GooseFat, for reminding me how old I am. Yeah, back in the good old days, before like social media came along and ruined everything. Although 2009, that's peak Facebook era, or MySpace really. So social media was already ruining everything. Wait, hang on a second. Oh, this is just an on ready. Okay, I actually want to change that. Change this to an export variable, GPU particles. Right, and then just assign that. And then an audio stream as well. Change that to an export. If we're going to make this a basic kind of thing. And then change that as well. And here we want to say if GPU particles 2D. In fact, I would say let's make this a function on its own. Play effect. And then we do that. And then we can override it. Okay, on GPU particles finished. That's fine. I don't think it's called if there's a signal. Okay, easy peasy. Although I do want to have like a GPU effect. But I kind of want to use one. The destructible death effect. Can I save a version of this? A particle process material, I guess. Sparks. Particle effect, I guess. And then if I go to the defeated drone and I go to, where does this go? Process material. As for building your own, will be the last year or two where manufacturers stretched out over building units. Gamers Nexus did an extensive talk on it. Really? So like you reckon you're just not gonna be building your own computer anymore? Stretched out over building units? Interesting. I need to go. Gamers Nexus is kind of like, he's a real one. You know what I mean? No more home builds? The great, that's so sad, man. Like, there's nothing worse than the whole, like, single unit, because realistically, I know it's like a little bit conspiratorial, but I mean, it was maybe back in the day, like built to break kind of idea, but I think that's been like universally proven over the last like 20 years or something. It's like they want to make it so they can ship you something and then it has like a finite life, rather than like if you build a computer. This is what I say to everyone I see in real life. It's like, if you build your own PC, it will last a very long time. Depending on what you do. 18 drive bays for this issue, yeah. Buy the case and the stuff this year, next couple of years will be 3 times the cost. Yeah, right. Especially with all this conflict, it really drives up the cost of materials. People gotta chill out. Yeah, rip. You'll own nothing. Oh, he did like a 3-hour video 13 days ago. Well, I was gonna watch it, but that's a long one. I'll save that for when I'm doing my work. It's so sad, man. It really, it's sort of like, I hate the way that things are these days with everything like glued together, so you can't like make changes to it. We're gonna have to rebel. He speaks at length with Chinese providers and logistics. Yeah, okay, cool. I'll watch it today. Both are super hurting. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so that's kind of what I was looking for. So we just go amount 512 and then we just copy these settings, I guess. I don't know. Just like sparks flying, but like the duration is too long. Like this. So it just looks like this. That's fine. Defeated drone, GPU particles, and a sound. Audio player 2D. I don't know what kind of sound I put with these. It's just like a basic one. Explosion 16. My like, I gotta put that on the FX master. And then negative 19 dB. Okay, so we've got this way lower in the mix. Must be really loud. Okay. Well, I mean, we'll have to update it at some point anyway. Alright, so that's our guy. We spawned this. Now what would be really cool, when we do the death effect, we spawn the currency and we sort of send it in the opposite direction. So when we spawn the currency, we do like a direction spawn currency here where we go randi range. So do we do anything with this? Sign F direction, Y, call C, global position, direction, multiply, apply a central impulse. That's we're going to do the same thing to all of these. So probably the easiest thing for us to do is, what do we call this? Defeated drone effect. So we'll create a function here called launch parts, and it's going to take a direction. It's a vector 2. And what we can do is, I want to get like export. I'm going to export a drone parts array with a list of rigid bodies, right? So this will be our rigid body 2D. Why is it not? It's not filling in because of this. Right? Happy? Unexpected identifier. This is export var. Okay, here we go. So we've got the drone parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're just going to give them a bit of a launch. Two, 3, 4. Okay, great. I should probably give them names. Back. Main. Wing. Why is I've got 2 back sprites. Back wing. I don't want back wing body. Change this one to back wing sprite. Front wing. In the hood. Okay. So now we have that, right? Back main, front wing, hood. Okay, great. And the other thing as well, I had forgotten, I was going to change the layers. So if I go and I look at the broken crawler, dead crawler, it's also a rigid body, and it is 110 on the mask. So they should look like this. I think they should mask 10 as well. But not 1. Okay. Okay, so we're just going to go for I in drone parts. Then we're going to go I dot apply central impulse, and I guess we just want like a speed. speed to float. Make it equal to like 10, I guess. I don't know. And then, so apply central impulse. It wants an impulse direction times speed, right? Something like that. Death effect. So when we spawn currency... Wait, what calls that? What calls spawn currency? I don't get it. I'm guessing that comes from the thing that is getting defeated. So the enemy calls spawn currency, which means we don't get the direction. I think it would make more sense to take that within play effect. So we take that as it takes a direction as a vector 2 with it equal to 0. Problem is, spawn currency with direction, and then now I can do all the things I want to do. So it has like a variable speed. Currency to instantiate, global position, add scene, add child, all deferred. Okay, so what? Is it an AI enemy? So here we go here. Spawn currency, call deferred. Ah, right, because we never actually even called something. So now we can call play effect and pass in direction. Too many arguments, call 1, expected 0. Okay, well, that's fine. So let's go back to death effect. Save that. Okay, now it's happy. So anytime that we're calling spawn currency, we need to replace that. Not too many places. Death effect is fine. Destructible object. Plays death effect. But instead here we just go duh. Alright. Happy days. And we no longer have anything in the ready function. That just gets called. And it does all the things. And then now for the other guy, we've got that. So what's it called? Drone death effect? I don't even know what I called the script. Defeated drone. It doesn't have a class. That's okay. It is called defeated drone. So we got launch parts and we're just going to apply a central impulse. That's good enough right now. So we just want to basically just call play. So I guess like technically this should have, I mean, it kind of ships out and I don't really feel like continuing to. So func play effect takes a dir to vector 2. Turns nothing. And we just want to call launch parts with the direction and then return super dot play effect and then pass in the direction. Should be it. And then I add this death effect to the air enemy. Ah, that's a dead crawler. I want to... Beta drone. Okay, facility 6. Let's see how we go. Let's see what we broke. Probably everything. Get rid of these guys. I mean, honestly, not bad. I am wearing a hat. He's a bit big. Maybe it's better if I create like a sprite that's a bit broken up. You know what I mean? Let's run that back. Actually, you know what? Let's go to the next screen. Also, we have errors. What have we got? Playback can only happen when a node is inside a tree. Okay, well... Let's fix that. Well, I guess it's in enemy. Player effect, globe, call deferred. Use them to generate something by moving them to a touch box. Okay, now you've lost me. A touch box in Godot? What's the touch box? Is that a thing here, or is that like a concept that I should Google? You know? A collision zone. Generate something, but dude, I'm lost. Anyway, before I lose my train of thought, we need to await dot new effect dot is inside tree. Inside tree. There we go. So we'll just await so that we don't get that error. And yeah. Why is it cranky now? Await keyword isn't necessary because the expression isn't a coroutine or a signal. Okay. Tree entered. Jesus. Thanks for the warning, Godot. Actually saved me. Think. Where is it? Facility entry 6. It just lands. Yeah, I mean, the fact that you can wear it as a hat is kind of funny. They don't really behave properly, and I think that is because the center of gravity is like all messed up. I don't know if that's because their origin points are like weird. I've encountered this before a long time ago. Let's go kill some more. It's still getting errors as well. It's gonna get messy. That's the thing that's like kind of funny. Look at them. I don't know, guys. Can he not get to me? Is he stuck? I'm just in a sea of these drones. I mean, it's kind of fun, but yeah, there's probably just a little bit too much going on here. I think maybe we take the main body and we destroy it, and we maybe leave the wings. Fill up that. Oh, I'm just like in a sea of bones. Dude. Can I even get back to the other room? Yes, I can. And then they're all gone. That's fine. That was pretty fun though. So yeah, maybe that, and we've got like these cajillion errors. Can only happen when the node is inside a tree. Then wait that you're inside tree.
Do you have a penny?
You have to recycle them to a hitbox and it gives you something. Oh yeah, like if you shoot it, it should explode. Also, can I call deferred that to make it like so it does that once it's inside the tree as well? Do I have a penny? How much is a penny worth? These days, like 1 million? No. I feel like I'm going to get this error no matter what I do. Oh, I didn't get the error. Okay. Wait, what is this though? I still get... Maybe I'm getting it somewhere else. Oh, you know what? It's probably the crawler that's calling it now. Yeah, we should make these shootable. And also, like, some of the raycasts don't work anymore because there's just, like, a sea of my enemies. Okay, just run straight into me, mate. I don't think he can shoot me. I need to make these not interact with raycasts or anything. Play like makes me think maybe like a mini game of some kind would be pretty fun. Try to do soccer with it. Trash compactor Star Wars vibes. Yeah, it does feel like that. Dun, dun, dun. Push them. I like pushing them in the hole. I don't like. That's what you need. We need a trash compactor. Add it to the list. And we did. We only got like one of those errors, and I think it came from a different object. Probably the crawler. Add child, spawn a crawler, change. Where's death effect here? Or is it just, does it derive enemy? I don't know. We did get one. Play death effect. On health container 0, play death effect. Or cold deferred. And give it an await just in case. New effect tree dot in tree entered. You know what really ticks me off is that using await await anything tree entered doesn't work when you're playing when you're waiting to call the next function. I must fundamentally misunderstand what that signal is. I should also change this one to like Okay, that is a big link. What is it? Oh, it's a penny. Oh. I mean, yeah, they're pretty valuable, but like, what was a penny worth? Is a penny 1 cent? Imagine your currency is so good, 1 cent is actually worth something. $495. I mean, pennies weren't around even. When did they discontinue the penny? It was a long time ago. When they switched to Australian penny. 1966. Oh, penny started in 1966. A pre-decimal coin. Damn. It was English currency, right? Okay. Oh, oh, right. So, what is a penny worth in pounds? Like, I don't understand like the English system. It kind of confuses me. I assumed that's just different words. A little animation was used to introduce it. That's cute. Not ever signed, 1965. Wow, okay. Wait, did we ever have 1 cent? Or when we introduced our own currency, did we switch to just 5 cents like we do now? It was a coin of the Australian pound. A 1 Australian penny was worth 1/12 Australian shilling, 1/24 Australian florin, 1/60th Australian crown, and 1/240th Australian pound. How did anyone actually transact? Honestly, what is this? That'll cost 1 shilling. Australian 1 cent coin. Okay, so we did have a 1 cent coin from 1966 to 1991. And 2006, for some reason, 12 shillings. Okay. Interesting stuff, man. And chocolate lollies were 2 for 1 cent in Australia when it started. Hell yeah. Gotta love it. From 1966 to 1984, the observable features the Queen's Elizabeth. I love money. It's fascinating stuff, isn't it? Okay, so we probably need to, I reckon, make this a little bit, break this guy in pieces so he's not so big. And then, okay, so we've got gravity issues as well with these. They're not behaving quite right. Like, look at it wobble. It doesn't have the correct center of gravity. Now, this is, I do know the cause of this issue in the engine. I've come across it before. The way that these are, see how they're all 0, but like this guy is over here. This is no good. You know what I mean? You have to position everything accordingly. So if we look at this, we need to move this sprite into the center, and this collision polygon, we just need to redo it, I think. A friend collects Australian coins with the $2 ones with the red backs, signifying puppies for the Anzac Day, are now $200. 200 times the value plus, so $400. You can ask bankrolls for them. Yes, when I worked in, I worked for a shop. Like I did accounting for a hardware store that shall remain unnamed. When I was an accountant for them, I used to have people within the business itself asking me to get bankrolls for them. And I always politely declined. Because I had to prep cat rush. Yeah. Yeah, I get. I'm trying to think. Like, was it for that? Like, I don't know. I can't even remember. Like, yeah, we did have stores, like, and we were doing. We had a bunch of retail stores. I worked in head office though, so. You're off center, mate. And it's a problem. Yeah, people were always looking. I had a guy who was specifically looking for the green coin. The green $2 coin. He's like, if you ever have to do like a float refill, that's what it was. Yeah, I remember now. So basically in head office, like obviously we don't deal with the money directly, but occasionally the guys in the retail stores would run low on float and we'd send out float to them if they ran out of coins. And so we would send them out and the guy was like, oh, if you ever find any green $2 coins, come find me. I'll give you a $2 coin for it. Coin hounds are funny characters, yeah. And I was like, dude, what the hell? Yeah, it was my first exposure to the whole thing. I was like, I don't get this at all. Like, I understand the concept that, like, you know, some currencies are collectible. But, yeah, the idea of... I think he was in it for the money. You know, he wasn't, like, actually into the coins. But, like, everybody's different, I guess. Okay, so these should behave a bit better now that they're like correctly in the center, and then we can just like move them back out. Pokemon brain, yeah. People.
How
after
do
the
you
cards.
like my Lego figure in Discord?
Oh, it's disgusting, dude. Where is it? General chat. Like what? The hell? Could you imagine? It gives Doctor Who vibes, you know? These don't really have to be in like such a good position. Lego is a dark currency. True. What? Did you guys see that drama that's going with that shop in the United States? That was crazy. I mean, I guess that had more. The Lego side of it is more of an aside. You know what I mean? Like, they're just bad business people. Okay, let's see if that behaves a bit nicer. Now that their origins are correctly set. Where's facility 6? Okay. Yes, I believe they are actually not being all funny or with their gravity. Yeah, that looks a lot more normal. A franchise couple accepted assignment and then accepted to crash and then attempted to crash out as a company. A YouTuber exposed it and the law enforcement. The law enforcement stuff is like so crazy to me. Those police are insane. Okay, cool. So now we have this. I think, yeah, we break the main body up. And I think you're right. We make it so that when you shoot them, it turns into smaller pieces. Although it's a lot of extra effort. I don't know. The bones of my enemies. Those guys aren't charging. The only enemies that are working now are it's so fun. See, this is like, you definitely want to have stuff like this so people can jump through it, but I think you just like maybe make these a little bit smaller because it does take up a lot of space at the end of the day. Like, this is a lot. So maybe we just turn them into smaller pieces so they sit a little bit flatter on the ground. Like, we can further break the wings and stuff to pieces, right? The big wing, they disappear after a couple minutes too. Yeah, well, they disappear the second you leave the room. They won't be there when you come back. So, and I think that's fine. We're not gonna like preserve these. That's a little bit too much work, and it's not, I don't think it's worth it. And I've also like done checks on other games. They don't preserve the bodies when you leave the room. They just disappear. So I'm not gonna do it either. But yeah, I think the big back wing and the main body, we break into a few smaller parts, and that way things will sit a bit smaller, and then yeah, we're good to go. But yeah, playing like because the character is the character's hitbox is a square, so it's reasonably easy to like juggle stuff. You know what I mean? Hacky sack. We're just like hacky sack with the drone. What was I doing? Try and take one for it. Oh, no, it won't work because like even if you push them all into the transitions are only triggered by the character's body, and it only like everything that you see here gets just removed, and then we go back. When we come back, we reload it. We don't even preserve this scene. Like, we could theoretically, when you leave this scene, you could just preserve it. You could take it out of the tree and keep it there in memory. And if you came back, then you load that instead of a new one. You could do that. It's not super, like that's, we'll look at that maybe if we have like time. I don't know. It's not that you just like come back and then they're gone. I don't think that's like a super big deal. Slap a timer on them to wink out after a couple of seconds. Oh, that's actually a good idea. Have that pit destroy anything. The hitbox would be fun, including the player if they're not careful. Yeah, I think you're right. Like maybe have it be big, but then after a couple of seconds, break into more pieces. That would actually be like pretty goated. Anyway, that's good progress. I'm happy with that. It's super fun. That makes it feel a lot better. Like in terms of a game. Like now it's like, yeah, it's a real game now. I'd be expecting to speedrun to collect all the body parts at the end of the map. Hell yeah. This is me. I gotta go to work. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. Yeah, sorry, it's real life time. Like, subscribe, follow, all that kind of stuff. Sahiro, thank you for the follow. Sorry, I don't have alerts turned on. Well, they are. I think they're just really low in the mix. I don't hear them. I'm sorry. But thank you for the follow either way. I'll see you guys back on Wednesday. All right. I got a little nod off. Hey, I heard that one. That was really quiet, but I heard it. Almost Quasi. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Have a good day, guys.